disconnected from them. Even though they didn't know when the time was going to be, they understood that their responsibility, God will catch it in a few minutes, was to master the master so that they could replicate his works and be able to do the same thing that he did on this earth, even when they weren't around him and or connected to him. And what they noticed, if you will, is they noticed that Jesus had a discipline. I'm a slow starter, but I promise y'all we're going to get there in a minute. That Jesus had a discipline, that there was a moment in time that they would notice that Jesus would steal away from them and that he would talk to God the Father. And after talking to God the Father, they noticed that Jesus would be able to do great exploits and would do miracles and signs and wonders. And after noticing all of these things, they decided to have a conversation with Jesus as it pertains to his discipline. They decided to talk to him about his discipline because they wanted to see the same results in their life as he was experiencing in his life, as well as they know that he had already told them that there were greater works that they were going to be able to do than he. So the conversation was like this: Jesus, we see that you have a specific discipline. We see how you steal away. We see how you talk to God the Father. What we've noticed is that the communication that you have with God the Father gives you access to him, and not only access to him, but it causes you to be able to do great exploits and miracles and signs and wonders. And we want to be able to do the same thing that you do because we want to mark the perfect man, model your behavior, and make sure that your works are manifested on the earth, even when we're not with you. In other words, what they were saying, I'll run around the block, is they went to Jesus and said, Jesus, teach us how to pray, as John taught his disciples. And Jesus converses with them, and in the conversation he says, listen, when you pray, you say, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, holy is thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it already is in heaven. Notice, if you will, that when we begin to look at this, you and I know it as the Lord's Prayer, but the truth of the matter is that it was not the Lord's Prayer, it was the disciples' prayer. And he was not teaching the disciples to recite what he was saying, but what he was showing them is that if you want to experience the same results in your life as I experience in my life, you have to learn how to approach God in the right way so that you can get, if you will, results that you desire in your life, the same type of results that I have in my life. He was showing them that approach is everything. And notice what he was telling them, because many of us think that we are supposed to learn the Lord's Prayer, but the truth of the matter is the Lord's Prayer or the disciples' prayer is not something that we are supposed to learn and recite, but it's something that we're supposed to look at as a model. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me. It is structure. It teaches us how it is that we're supposed to approach God if we want to get the results that we desire and require. Notice what he teaches them in their approach. He says, when you approach God, when you want to get results from God, when you want to experience great things in God, you got to come to him and you say, Our Father which art in heaven, holy, 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 hallowed, holy is thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it already is in heaven. Let me pause parenthetically for a moment, because the first thing that I want you to note and notice in this structural teaching that Jesus was teaching the disciples during this day and time is he was teaching them that you don't ask God for anything until you acknowledge his presence and his deity. And can I tell you, that's the reason why some of us, under the sound of my voice, haven't gotten anything from God yet, because the first thing that we do is we ask God without acknowledging him. I've been sitting here for a long time. I've been looking around in the crowd, and there's a whole lot of y'all. I know y'all got some serious needs. There's some things that you're about to ask God for, but how dare you come into God's house and not acknowledge who he is? Some of y'all have not lifted up your hands not one time. Some of you ain't said thank you not one time, but you have the audacity to ask him for something. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me. Let me make it practical for a minute. I remember one day at my house, I'll never forget it, at my house, my son came in from school. He walked in the house. I'm sitting at my kitchen table. I got my computer open. He walked in the house, and then he walked past me, and he walked up the stairs, and he went and got into the shower, and he changed clothes, and after getting out of the shower, he came back downstairs, and then he went and grabbed some Kool-Aid out the refrigerator, and then he went back upstairs, and when he he went back upstairs, he changed clothes, and then he came back downstairs. And when he got back downstairs, he had the audacity to ask me, could he use my car? Now mind you, I told you that he went upstairs, he took a shower, came downstairs, had some Kool-Aid, went back upstairs, put on some different clothes, came back downstairs, and then asked me could he use my car so that he could go out and hang out with his friends. Now I'm gonna tell you what I told him. I said, boy, you act like you slept with me last night. I said, how dare you walk in my house or walk past me, walk up my stairs, go into my bedroom, cut on my water, take a bath in my bathroom, and then put on my clothes, come down my steps, go into my refrigerator, wash on my Kool-Aid, and then walk back upstairs, put back on the clothes I bought you, come back downstairs, and then haven't spoken to me not one time, and then got the audacity to ask me for my keys. The devil is a liar. Whenever you walk into my house, you're supposed to acknowledge your father first. And some of y'all in here right now, you have not acknowledged him one time. But I wonder, is there anybody under the sound of my voice right now that came in here with the mentality that before I do another thing, I'm going to acknowledge the God of my life? Notice if you will, what happens when teachers live that approach. Touch somebody, say approach is everything.